the odds, researchers have developed techniques that allow an egg to be fertilized outside the womb. Since 1978, thousands of children have been conceived in shallow glass dishes. Eggs can be artificially stimulated to develop and then extracted for fertilization. Sperm are also subject to manipulation.
Here we have a sample of sperm underneath the microscope that the TV camera is focusing on. We're evaluating various patterns of motion. For instance, we're looking at evidence of progressive motility. We see this sperm moving progressively from the top to the bottom of the screen. And this would be a normal pattern of sperm motion. On the other hand, if we see sperm either being immobile or having a lot of difficulty in progressing, and all of these characteristics will affect their capacity to fertilize an egg.
Even imperfect sperm can now play a part in reproduction. Using glass needles finer than a hair, sperm don't even have to be mobile to fertilize an egg. They can be directly injected through its wall.
Right now, all of the advanced reproductive techniques are utilized in couples who are having difficulty in having healthy kids. For the most part, it's couples who are having difficulty in conceiving. And in a more specialized area, there are those couples who have had who are carriers of genetic disease, in which we have the opportunity to diagnose that genetic disease at the embryo level, and so that we can apply techniques to try to increase the chance of these couples having a healthy infant.
Reproductive technology has obviously answered dreams for some. Tens of thousands of children worldwide exist because of assisted conceptions. Among these children are some of the 1,300 who have been conceived with the help of the Jones Institute for Reproductive Medicine in Norfolk, Virginia. But does this mean we're approaching a brave new world where babies are produced to order on a laboratory assembly line?
I think that it's unlikely the use of the advanced reproductive techniques themselves are going to change sexual behavior. Clearly, this technique is not really a sexual process in that circumstance. I have sometimes gone out of the treatment room where we have done like an intrauterine insemination and asked the husband if he wanted to smoke. But clearly that would be, I think it's unlikely that this is going to put normal sexual behavior out of existence.
Biotechnology is young, but its accomplishments are startling. We can freeze human sperm and embryos for future use. We can gestate a goat outside a womb. We can manipulate genes.
The question arises whether or not in the future we'll have the opportunity to try to utilize designer genes or push the evolution of our species toward a specific set of traits, longevity, height, etc. I think that that possibility does exist. I think that it is probably would be in the distant future.
It's cute, it works. I don't think it's really me. I agree.
The future of sex has long been a preoccupation of science fiction writers and fans like these at Baltimore's Balticon convention.
However you like, that's fine. That's actually very good. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Don't move.
I think that probably there will be more people who are of indeterminate gender or ambiguous or several different genders.
Actually, I'm a Borg. I'm an asexual being that was assimilated into a sort of a hive mentality or a collective mentality. So male and female don't matter.
I suppose for folks that really want to have safe sex, more people by themselves electronically, cyber, whatever, or virtual reality things are certainly, I do think those will be appropriate and not looked down upon in the future.
Virtual sex is what most of us have when we don't have a partner.
I think that sex is virtual all by itself, but given the current computer bulletin board and email versions of sex, I think that basically it's going to replace the vast majority of foreplay, at least for men.
There you are.
Today's attempts at moving sex into the interactive computer era are little more than animated comic books. Explicit animated comic books.
I've been expecting you. Shall we, you know. I've been told that I have a very sexy body. Do you think I'm sexy? Now, take off my tights. Oh, does my body excite you? Tell the truth.
But the industry promises virtual Valerie is just the beginning of the new age of cybersex.
Do you want to touch them?
In here we can be anything we want to be. I'll see you on the inside.
It is predicted that the computer will project the images and provide the sensations for a kind of sex that can't exist in the real world.
Come over here!
Virtual sex, which they're talking about today, is really not new. We all live in a virtual sex world. Whether we use a machine or our brains doesn't really matter. Our fantasies are virtual sexual reality. Maybe they'll be enhanced a little bit by a machine, but you'll still have to tell the machine what it is you like, what it is you desire, what your fantasies really are. Perhaps the machines can make them a little bit more vivid, but I doubt it. Our brains are the best virtual reality machines that there are.
Throughout human history, our brains have been a primary sex organ. It's likely to continue that way into the future.
Well, I think there'll continue to be two sexes, but as we find extraterrestrial cultures, I'm sure we'll find a lot of variations that we've never even imagined yet.
Sex will change in the future by the freedoms of the female in the society. They will start taking more chances than the males, and more equality will arrive.
I hope that sex and reproduction are all still tied into like the making love, and then we don't lose too much of the old-fashioned.
It seems unlikely. We are the product of our evolution, our genes, and our hormones. But we are more than that. We are what we think, what we believe, what we imagine, what we hope. And that can transcend the selfishness of our genes, the fight for fertility, and the siren song of sex.
One really crucial and unanswered question is whether species other than humans experience love. The power of love in humans is so striking that it seems unlikely that it's something that is unique to humans. On the other hand, there's no evidence in other non-human primates that anything analogous occurs.
Love may be the answer to some questions science hasn't asked yet. Sex is easier to understand. For 3 billion years, the game has been underway, shuffling physical characteristics and creating enough diversity to survive whatever hand nature deals us. Sex is a game of change as much as a game of chance. Life is in the cards.